of the universalbaptistchurch.org website. This is just going to be a quick introduction about your new web product, which I proudly present to you. And as we know, has been a long process, but you are finally there. And I'd first like to congratulate you for going the distance and getting your product done with me. And I truly appreciate you guys as a client. So let's get started. First of all, as we all know, we're going to launch a web browser. I'll use Safari here. We're going to navigate to your domain, which is universalbaptistchurch.org. Okay. And the site is structured very linear, and it holds as close as we can get to the original design, which was presented to you by Mr. Sean Chapman. Basically, just to give you an overview of how the site functions, universal.baptist.org is your main domain, which takes you to your splash or your landing page, which is very nice, very subtle. It just gives the subtle detail about what's going to go on and set the mood as the visitor enters the site. Whenever you click the logo on any page, that will always take you back to this landing page where you can see the animation of the dove. On the top here, you have your Facebook, your social connections, and the site is very loaded with a lot of ability for you to connect with all the major social engines out there to spread your message. Here you can connect with Facebook. If you click here, it takes you directly to your Facebook page. It also opens, you'll notice, in a new page, and it doesn't replace your old page, which will be an important part of this tutorial process that you'll go through in the later lessons about linking and the logic and the reasons and what you do behind linking, because through all of this web interaction, you're trying to guide people to an ultimate goal. And when you utilize the site effectively, or utilize your web presence effectively, and strategically think about how you can get people from point A to point B, then you can really maximize the site. And keep in mind that your website is infinitely scalable since it is powered by WordPress. It can always be, new functionality can be added, can be extended, can be redesigned with ease. Whether you work with me again in the future or whether you work with a new developer, everything about your site is standard, and it's a huge marketplace and a huge arena of people that work within the WordPress environment. So you'll never be without anyone to be able to support you or take care of your needs as you move forward in the future of this website. So again, here we have our top 4, outside of this landing page, top 4 areas of communication that you guys have established on your, based on your design, which is your About page, which is a top level page, which gives you all the quick areas based on your layout of focus, which can quickly takes you to the welcome message. You can quickly view the service schedule, make a donation, make a prayer request, learn what's going on in the youth ministry, as well as a little insight and background into the church itself. Sorry, click back again. On a subcategory of the About for the church is the welcome page, or your welcome message. And then you have another subpage, which is leadership, which focuses on the pastor's bio and the pastor's history and experience with leading the church. Then you have your event calendar, which is a different solution that you were presented with in your designs by Sean Chapman, but will be an easier tool for you to use and get accustomed to, and help guide and support some of the strategies that you guys may do in terms of hosting events and trying to drive people to events. It's a lot easier. It also has it has very simple social interactivity with Twitter, and this doesn't rely on you having a Twitter account. This relies on another individual having a Twitter account, their own proprietary Twitter account. They would log into their own account and they'd be able to post this event information on their timeline, which would ultimately link back to your website. So again, the site is loaded with an immense amount of programming tools at your disposal to be able to spread your word, as well as make simple contributions from your end. And that is the power of having a content managed system. You don't have to be a professional web developer. All you need to be able to do is write, and this system makes it easy for you to get your communications out there. Next in line, you have your ministries, and your ministries also have subcategories, and this is an important area that I'll explain. The ministries basically will always show all the activity that has occurred within the site. The reason for this is, and it's an important tool, because it assists search engines like Google and Yahoo as they comb the web daily. So, being the fact that this page shows everything that's going on within your site is good and will add to your site ranking over time, because the engines will see that this is an active website with lots of content that people are interested in. Beneath the ministries, you have two subcategories, one which takes you to your ministerial staff. Here you have an area where you can modify and basically say whatever you'd like to say, but the reason why these pages, staff, and something to think about in the future, staff as well as the youth page are set up this way. You should always think about introducing any content that's going to follow on a page, on a web page. If you create a web page that is about a certain topic, you should do a brief summary to lead off at the beginning of the page, and this is again to facilitate with search engine visibility. And then you would go into the specifics about what the content is on your site below that little introduction. Okay, so it's structured this way so that the search engine see an introduction or an overall snapshot about what's going on this page, as well as here you can put quick links to different areas of interest within the youth category. And I'll show you how to do that, and I'll explain how to do that, and how everything that you'll do is not necessarily creating pages. You'll be contributing to the website via posting. WordPress supports two forms of contribution. One, an actual web page, which is what these pages are, as well as posting, which is what makes this page. This page is made up of different posts. It's a little bit complicated and maybe complicated for you. I wouldn't worry so much about that. That's the time that I've put into it to program everything to make it as simple and as easy as I can for you guys to be able to work. Okay? And then you have your contact page, and your contact page has a little snapshot which will take you to Google Maps, again opening in another browser, which can facilitate people finding your location from wherever they are and actually getting directions, if any of you know how Google Map works. Okay, this area will also be up to you to modify, again giving a little brief snapshot, maybe something that summarizes what the Universal Baptist Church's mission is, or how we'd like to, welcome you to join us on whatever, any particular day of the month. This is all going to be easy for you to modify, and I will show you how to do that. And here you have a contact form, which is powered by the WordPress engine, which through the WordPress interface, you'll be able to communicate with people via them filling out this contact form. It's a simple way for people who don't want to make phone calls sometimes and want information, and for you to have a personal interaction with individuals on the web. As well as it has a built-in verification process to show that the contact made on the form only gets to you if it's a legitimate human being. There are certain things called web bots which crawl the internet and do malicious activity to websites such as yours which is not just a traditional website with people that, or someone who's coded HTML pages. Your website is run by a variety of different technologies, from database to an operating system to the front-end system that you see, which is WordPress, and to a variety of different programming languages that function behind it. Okay? Here at the very bottom, you'll see that in your footer, there is a link here to your privacy policy, which is also something to pay attention to and good focus to have. That page already exists. It's been constructed for you. All you'll need to do is actually just place the content in, and these lessons will take you through how to do that very easily and very simply. But I do advocate you getting a legitimate privacy policy. You can search the internet for free ones, free templates that basically say what your intent is with the website and what you intend to do with the information that people give you. Basically, as an example, to fill out this form is giving the church some of my private information. It's good practice to actually have a privacy policy that says what you'll do with that information that I give you, whether you'll make it public to other people, whether it's only for your purposes, whether it's only for purposes between you and the party that's trying to contact you, so that you can have a one-on-one interaction with that individual. So again, there are free templates that you can find just by doing a search engine, and by the time we're done with all our tutorials, you'll be able to go find one, copy the content, modify it as you wish in Word, Microsoft Word, and paste it in and actually create the content for that page. Okay, so that's basically what our front end is. And here's a very special thing that you'll notice on the event calendar: the ministries, the staff, and the youth all have what's called a dynamic sidebar. And what this dynamic sidebar is, houses a number of different areas of functionality of the website. Here you have a search field or a search tool which can actually search the entire site for any type of content that is within the site and be found, and give you a quick link to that. Here is a quick navigation of maybe some of the top areas that you'd like individuals to visit. Since it's in a very highly visible spot, it's kind of a second menu beneath your main menu. So generally speaking, the way the site is structured, you cannot really add any more top-level pages here because it is based on what the initial design was, or the design that was approved. So this is kind of limited and locked. You can never really add more elements up here. You can, however, add some subpages, but it's wise not to add too many subpages because this navigation gets very difficult on a small device such as an iPhone or maybe even an iPad. So you really do want to stay away from this. Adding more pages here, but I will show you how to do that, and I will show you how to maximize that other pages or other areas of information that you create without adding them to this menu here. You can also add them here for visibility. So we'll cover that in later lessons. Here you have the Join the Universal Baptist Church mailing list, quick email. I can just give you my email, and the WordPress dashboard, which I'll show you. You'll have communication with whomever's trying to join your mailing list. And what the mailing list will do is anytime you make new content to the site, it will automatically send that contribution to the email subscriber, therefore being a newsletter. Here you also have another quick, what each one of these are called, these areas, they're called widgets. And you have another widget here, which will show you the latest posts being contributed to the site. Here's another very important area, which is based on the UBC, Universal Baptist Church membership. If you are a member of the website, it will take you quickly to your login page. If you are a new member and you want to make comments on some of the posts that are on the website, you have to be a member to register. You have to be a member of the site to be able to do that. So therefore, you'd like to register. Okay. Here you also have an area of Facebook, which will which basically pulls in the activity that you're creating on your Facebook page and gives a snapshot to the viewer of your website what's actually going on there on your Facebook page. They also have the ability to like your website and post that to their Facebook pages. So again, there's an enormous amount of functionality that's built in to your website. Again, we've talked about RSS, we've talked about Twitter, and in RSS, if I click this link, I don't have a reader installed here, but Gwen and I have discussed this, and I think that rings a bell to you. If that brings back a bell to you, Gwen, I'm sorry. But what I can show you is Firefox has a RSS reader in it, and I'm going to launch that same URL in Firefox. So, bear with me. I'm going to launch that same URL in Firefox, and we can see what a really simply syndicated feed looks like. Okay, so there we go, Universal Baptist Church Ministries, right? I'm going to go to that website, and here, if I click that RSS link, with Firefox having a reader built in, I can subscribe to this feed. So basically, any new contributions that you make to the website, I would get fed to me. Not the entire website, but just, as you can see, these are some of the feeds from the website. I could actually click this link, and in clicking that link, it would actually take me to the full post. Okay, it's also another way people can share that link information with other people on other blogs and so on and so forth. So again, there is a lot of power and a lot of functionality built into the site, which we will cover in our tutorials about how to use them. So to wrap this up, if I wanted to log into the website, I could click here in this dynamic sidebar, and it would take me to where I could log into the website. Another way to get to that is if I go to universalbaptistchurch.org, right, and I put in a /wp-admin, it would take me to the same location. Okay? So again, those are two ways that you can get into the Universal Baptist Church website. So that's the overview of the front end. The next video is going to take you through the overview of the dashboard.